Hey guys, welcome back. This is Bernard from the BJTechNews, and today guys I want to show you how to customize your Windows 7 installation disk with integrated updates, programs, and all crazy kind of tweaks that you could think of. Now, the way that I'm actually doing this, I'm doing it virtualized like always. I'm always doing things on virtual machine, but you guys need to have two things installed into your Windows 7 machine. You need to get Windows Automated Installation Kit, which I'm gonna post this link at the bottom so you guys can get a hold of it. It's about a gig of size, so this is gonna take some time to download. And you will be needing Se7en Lite. Now, Se7en Lite comes in two flavors. You have a 86 and a 64-bit. So depending on what operating system you're gonna be doing this on, make sure you download the correct one. Now, I'm doing everything on a Windows 7 32-bit. So I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna go to Start, Computers, Properties, and I'm running everything on a 32-bit. Okay, now first thing that you need to do is install the Se7en Lite. Now I already downloaded it, and I'm gonna double click on it to install it. You're gonna hit yes on this, and once it loads up, you got a nice little setup wizard. Hit next. I'm gonna leave the default path as the C drive. Next, accept the license and terms. Hit next, install, and then you're good to go. Now, for this to work, you can either get yourself a CD, get the Windows 7 CDs, because it's a Windows 7 CD installation disk. The reason why is because you're going to be needing that pretty soon. Or if you have an ISO file of the Windows 7, you can get that as well. Now, I actually have a Windows 7 disk already mounted into I'm now already mounted, but I'm going to mount it right now into my virtual machine. So we're going to do that now. So I'm going to mount Windows 7 32-bit, and I'm going to press OK. And pretty soon this is going to change. Awesome. So I got my Windows 7. And so what we're going to do now is double click on our Se7en Lite application. So that's going to start up. Hopefully it starts up with no problem. Now, once Se7en Lite starts up, you're going to get this nice little cool dialog box. And the first thing that you guys want to do is browse. Now, you want to browse where your selected OS path is at. Now, if you guys have an ISO file, go for it. Pick on that, and it's going to prompt you to locate the ISO, and then it's going to want you to find a temporary location to extract the ISO file to. I'm going to do a select OS path. And I actually going to put it on my desktop. I'm going to make a folder called temp OS. Press OK. And select a bootable Windows 7 operating system. So let's do that again. I'm going to select it, and we're going to pick this. That's what we want. Press OK. The operation cannot be performed. First, save the file on the local disk. That's what you need to do. Press OK. And I'm going to place it on the temp OS. That's what I want. And it's going to take some time. Right now is extracting the CD to a temporary location right here. And once that's done, we can start tweaking it out. Now, depending on what Windows 7 you are customizing, you can get this nice little dialog box. Choose, basically giving you a rundown of what operating systems you have on a CD. Now, I'm using a Windows 7 Enterprise, so that's the only choice. So I'm going to press OK on this. Once you pick your operating system type, it's going to start loading the image into the Se7en Lite configuration tool. Once it finished loading up, this normally takes a while. Like you can see, it takes about 4 minutes for me. I'm already down to 11%. Once this completes, then you can start messing around with these taskbars, these menus over here, and I'm going to explain each one to you and hopefully customize a Windows 7 installation disk with you guys. Now, once everything is completed, you're going to get a status of load completed. It's going to give you a rundown of what it's what. The OS name is Windows 7 Enterprise, the description, the architecture, the size of it, language, and the version. Now, from here, you don't need to do as much. The only time you need to change something is if you're dealing with a specific language. But we're not going to deal with that. We're going to go to Task, and by default, you get the custom. I normally like to go and do tweaked it. Tweaked basically selects everything here. You got a rundown on how to use the application. This is up to you if you guys want to read it. Once you pick tweak, everything in the sidebar highlights and it enables. So in integration, you could do Windows updates. So I'm going to add a couple Windows updates to see if I got a couple of Windows updates in here. So we're going to go and download Windows updates. Actually, I got Windows updates here. Let's try this one. Let's add that one. It's a hot fix. And let's hit add. Let's see what else I have. I don't have anything here. Don't have anything here. Don't have anything here. Now, when you're most likely you got to get the Microsoft Update standalone packages for this to work properly. So I only have a 186-bit, so I'm just gonna push this one out to this custom Windows 7 installation disk. If you have any specific drivers, it's up to you. Language packs, applications. I do have an application, so I'm going to let's do Notepad++. Let's okay. When you pick the application that you want, it's gonna want you to do a command switch. I think it's /S is for silent, so we're gonna press that. You could continue adding more and more and more, but for this I'm just gonna do only one application. Once you do that, you want to hit apply. If you hit apply, it's gonna want you to commit automatically right away, but if you want to continue doing more stuff, go right ahead. For feature removal, you could add or delete stuff. Let's say by default, when you install Windows 7 Enterprise, the games are removed automatically. So I'm gonna add them. There's other features if you want to add or remove. I don't want to add XPS Viewer or the XPS servers. Let's just remove that. Permanent removals if you want. This is really up to you. Let's say you want to remove the calendar. You want to remove Notepad or Paint. Just sticky notes. Let's remove sticky notes. Welcome Center. Let's remove that. And let's remove WordPad. Okay. Let's go into tweaks. Now, tweaks is really up to you. There's so many tweaks that you could do, but I can't really tell you what not to do and what to do. You got desktops that you could do. Again, you actually have to sit down and actually go over all this stuff so you guys can pick what you want to do. Explore, security, services, systems, visual effects is so much. Internet Explorer, what I'm going to do is I'm going to change the default search page to be Google rather than Bing. Media Center, you got a bunch of other things that you can do. Custom registries, if you have any customized registries that you want to push out to your image, most likely you could do it here. Unattended, if you have a product key into your product key, I'm going to do skip the auto activation, skip the EULA, select this version of installation. I only have one, and you can actually give your computer a name. So I'm going to give it, let's say BJ Test. Let's give it the BJTechNews is the full name. Computer name would be BJ Test. Organization is all to you. There we go. Skip user creation. And let's give it a password, and then let's add a user. How cool is that? Let's add a user. Let's YouTube and then give it a password. Make an administrator, or you can make it a guest. I'm gonna press OK, and then the OEM, the manufacturer is VTN Production, which is BJTechNews, 9 to 5. Support number, let's go 555-123-122, whatever. You could put your URL. It's really up to you. This is where you're basically customizing your image the way you want it. Model, good one. You can even post a logo, up to you. It only accepts BMP bitmaps. Display size, horizontal and vertical resolutions, really up to you. And then you got the OOBE, which is an open out of the box experience. I'm gonna hide the EULA page. I'm gonna leave this as default. Protect your computer. Now this is really up to you. I'm gonna say do not install selected updates, and I'm gonna go other. Regional, I'm gonna pick, it always goes Pacific by default, so I'm gonna do Eastern time. Leave that as is. Run once, I don't need to do that. Hard disk configuration, this is really up to you if you want to name it. You can actually format the file system, and I'm gonna leave this as is. And then customizations, if you have like a particular screensaver that you want to push out to your users, hey, you can add it here. Any particular cool themes that you want, add it here. Wallpaper, if you want to change the wallpaper. Login screen, if you don't like this little dull Windows login screen, you can always change it and manipulate it, which is pretty cool. Gadgets, if you have customized gadgets, you can add them here. Document paths, you can actually add document paths. It's really up to you. Music samples, media sounds, and more. Change window media player background. This tool is so great, man. I mean, you can actually customize your Windows 7 installation disk to the way that you really want it. Plus, when you create the ISO, you can actually import it into your MDT server. Yes, how cool is that? Once you finish with the customization, you go to log, and then we are going to commit. You got to commit. Once you commit, it's basically going to install the updates to your custom image. Now, everything that we've done on this tool is actually being placed or pushed out to this folder right here. At the very end, when we create an ISO bootable, it's basically using this folder here and creating an ISO. Okay, depending on how much stuff you've done in customization, it's going to take a while. For me, it's only going to take 7 minutes because I didn't do a lot. Okay, so once you commit and it's completed, you're almost finished. Now we need to package it up to an ISO bootable. So we're going to click on the ISO bootable. You want to select your mode. I'm going to do a burn an image. It's going to say please insert. Oh, I really don't want to burn an image. Sorry about that. I want to create an image. If you burn an image, you got to have a CD or a DVD, most likely a DVD. But I want to create an image. I'm going to do is make an image, and I'm going to tell it where I want it, and I'm going to want it here. It's like I already tested it out before, so I'm going to actually do let's go BTN underscore custom image, and we're going to press save, and it's going to start creating the image. Now again, it really depends on how many updates you pushed out, how much applications you put into your customized installation disk. This portion right here would take longer. For me, it's only take 3 minutes, but let's see how it works out. So once we're completed with the ISO bootable, you're gonna get this nice little dialog box saying that the image is successfully created, and you're good to go. So we're gonna test it out. So we're gonna close it. I'm gonna hit yes on this. I'm gonna minimize my virtual machine workstation, and actually I'm gonna shut this off. Let's just power it off. I'm going to go to File, New Virtual Machine. I'm going to create a new virtual machine. Windows 7. Let's call it BJ Test. Let's browse, and I'm going to drop it in my right here. Hit next. I'm going to give it only 15 gigs. Hit next. Hit finish. I'm going to edit my virtual machine, and I'm going to boot it from the ISO that we have. Most likely the ISO image that you guys created, you could actually write it on a CD drive, or if you pick the create the image with the CD, you could do it that way. So I'm going to browse, going to go to my downloads, temp OS. This is the one the way we just created together. I'm going to open it, press OK, and I'm going to start this virtual machine up and see what happens. Now when we get to this portion right here, as you notice, it skipped a lot of stuff, so that's awesome. It got straight to the point of where you want it to be installed. So hit next, and it's gonna start installing. Cool. So once the installation is almost completed, you're gonna get this nice little post installation wizard. This is kind of confusing because I think I did put the silent command for this to install automatically, but it looks like the Se7en Lite doesn't install the applications for you automatically, which is weird. So I'm going to pick this. I'm going to install it. It looks like I can install it on the spot, which is not something that I would want. I want everything to be fully integrated, fully automatic, so I could just put the CD in or boot it from my MDT server and have it working OS. Now you get this once all the applications that you want to install. You're going to get this nice little dialog box. I'm going to hit continue. You're going to get the personalized settings. This is something very familiar to everyone, which is pretty cool. And we're going to check out the type of customizations that I did on the beginning. So we're we got the Notepad++, which is also cool. Let's go to the start button, and I believe I gave all the games. Awesome. I'm gonna hit that, close, and let's see users. Let's see if my YouTube user that I created is there. So we're gonna go into user accounts and manage another account, and there goes my YouTube user. So the tweaking and the customization did work out with no problem, which is pretty awesome. I'm working on Windows 8, how to do this on a Windows 8, because there's a way of actually doing it on Windows 8 to customize it and then pre-package it on an installation disk so you guys can use a customized version. Also, let's go to Start, Computers, right click on Properties, and let's go to Windows Updates, and let's check View Update History, Install Updates, and right now it's searching for installed updates, and it doesn't look like my updates were pushed out, so that's probably something that I need to check in as well and check that out. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video on how to customize your Windows 7 for an installation disk as well as a bootable disk. I'm working on Windows 8, so stay tuned for that. If you have any comments or concerns, leave them at the comment section, and don't forget about hitting that like button. I'll catch you guys later. Peace out.